I'm Chase, and this is my 2013 Dyna Fat Bob with a 103, affectionately known as Mary Jane. And we're about to roll over to 10,000 miles. 9993. So, what do I think of this Fat Bob? Well, the Dyna Fat Bob is pretty great. I like it a lot. I did ride my cousin's Lowrider S Softail today. I did not like it as much as I like my Dyna. That sounds weird. I thought I'd like it more. It doesn't feel the same. And as much as they tout how the suspension is so much better, it really was. Well, maybe if you're trying to race it, but if you're going to go for a trip, it's not. While I was taking my cousin's Lowrider S out for a little spin, he was taking my Dyna. He liked it quite a bit. He said the bikini fairing on the Lowrider S was not very good, at least for blocking wind, and he said he would really like to get Memphis Shades fairing, or just get a different bike altogether. You know, it's weird to think that this 2013 would be something I'd like more than a 2020, but it's just the way it is. The other thing was, the frame felt more awkward. That's the only word I can use. It felt like you were hunched over more, and it took a lot more input into the steering. I don't know, it was a weird feeling. It wasn't anything like my Dyna. I thought for sure my Dyna would be completely and utterly inferior. Now, did it have more power? Yes. Yes, right off the bat, but I'm not sure if it had that much more power, because there was a difference in throttle feel. Because it's got an electronic throttle instead of a cable throttle like my old ass Dyna here, it takes a lot more wrist to get my Dyna to really bust that tire loose, or to really, I don't know, rock it away. I'm thinking that with the Softail, that Lowrider S, I'm thinking that the throttle is a little more instant on, instant off. At least that's the way it felt to me. It wasn't bad to ride, but we went over the same bumps that I've went over a bunch of times in this, and we both had the same thing to say, that my Dyna definitely is better equipped, or better at taking road bumps and humps and dips and potholes and everything else. But he likes that Lowrider S, I get it. The throttle, because of it's more on-off than mine. Mine's more gradual. So it feels like you're getting a ton more torque, when if you look it up, it's actual torque numbers to the ground, it's not much. The only thing he's done to his is put on an exhaust. It doesn't even have a K&N air filter in it. It's still using the paper filter. So honestly, I'm gonna guess the power numbers, you know, torque and horsepower, are pretty dang close. Now, The one difference he did say that I will agree with him, that M8 is definitely smoother. Mine has a lot more kind of vibration to it. Even though I got better, you know, handlebar riser isolators in. My grips were a little bit thicker too, I think. A little bit, not much. But he has a different kind of grip. He has a different set of grips than mine. He has some aftermarket or Harley branded, slightly thinner grips. I don't know if that makes a difference. But oh, there's 10,000. 10,000. So I've put about 6,000 miles on this thing. I rode it twice, 2 or 3 times after I got it in October last year. So I put the bulk of that 6,000 miles on it this year. Starting in March, whenever I started getting to go out and ride again. He's put about 3,000 on it on his lowrider since he got it. So I put about twice as much. Of course, I live out in the boonies. Everywhere I go is a 20-minute ride at least. So, but yeah, it's a different bike. I don't know. Maybe it's not for me. I do like this bike a lot. This is definitely my most favorite bike I've ever had. I think, let's see. I put 9,000 on my Sportster in 2 years. And one of those years was me just working on it, getting it back to where it was a rideable condition. It had a bent front rim and some other things. It needed some work. But I got it together and then I proceeded to ride the living hell out of it. So this bike, it only had 4,000 miles on it. So this bike is a little bit, I don't know, a little bit easier to ride, or at least for long distance. Soaks up the bumps and stuff better. My Sportster just wasn't that kind of bike. But this, you can do some decent, you know, 100, 200 mile days. Yesterday it was a 200 mile day. That's not too bad on a bike like this. So, yeah, that's a 10,000 miles on my Dyna. I know it's funny, like 10,000 miles doesn't seem like a lot, but honestly, I don't know how people buy a motorcycle and then never ride it. I don't know if they're just scared or what, but to buy a motorcycle and never take it out and actually ride it, that's insane. Why would you buy something that can bring you so much fun and enjoyment and then let it sit in the garage? I guess that's all. Like, comment, subscribe, flick that ding-a-ling if you want to be notified of any new videos I come out with.